everybody, Jill here, back from vacation and excited that today's Wednesday, and that means that in our community for women 40 plus, today is a day for Q&A. It's where your questions on fitness, nutrition, hormones, weight loss, and all the things get answered. So I'm excited to be here. I know I had some questions. First of all, I had a lot of people actually message me going, way to go on those workouts. They were watching either on my stories in here on my profile that I really kept up with my fitness for the whole week that we were in Colorado. Plus we did whitewater rafting and a biking trip, and we had so much fun and it felt really good, especially with the time change. I struggled to stay asleep past 4 or 5 a.m. So I was down in the gym getting my workouts done. The unfortunate thing is the other night, I actually sprained my wrist. I am certainly hoping it is just a sprain and not a break. I told you, I promised you I would share the story. So, I think it was 2 nights ago, Monday night, after my son had come home from a really bad hamstring sprain or strain at camp, his first day of soccer camp. That night, I woke up in the middle of the night to a boom, 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 boom. And I woke up and thought immediately that my other son was falling down the stairs. And so I jumped out of bed and didn't realize that my exercise mat that I use for my abs was next to my bed, and I went careening across the floor and landed on my hand. And so that was really unfortunate. It turned out we were just having a thunderstorm. So totally unnecessary wrist sprain. Very frustrating. I'm struggling to type. It's very painful, and I'm just hoping it goes away soon. Luckily, we've got lots of rain here, so I'm not missing any golf. We had our my golf tournament was canceled yesterday, so I'm just hoping that I get fully healed by the time it's time to go back to golf. So anyways, yeah, I can still talk and answer questions though, but I'm feeling that all the way down my arm. Anyways, for those of you who are new here to our community for women 40 plus, every Wednesday I do a Q&A session where I answer the questions that you pose when you join the group. And so I have a sampling of ladies here and your questions that you asked. And if you have a question and you're on live, I see Angie and Debbie and Beth and Kim and Amber and anybody else who's on here, thanks for joining. And if you have any questions and you want to pop them here in the chat, I think I should be able to see them pop up. Let me know that you're here. Say hi if you're live. Let me know where you're at. Is it pouring rain or are there tornado warnings where you are? Because we have those here right now. So anyways, one of the questions that I ask when you join the group is, what's holding you back from achieving success in your fitness and nutrition? And I ask that because I want everyone to know, number one, that a lot of us are going through the same things, but I want to just make sure that I am addressing what you're struggling with, and that my programming, when I create my fitness programs, my nutrition programs, my menopause and metabolism programs, that I'm addressing the exact problems that you're having. It makes me the best coach I can be for this particular group of women. So when I look across my little spreadsheet here of the answers that I compiled, I see Kimberly says menopause is holding her back. Renee says no energy. Wendy says no motivation. Krisan, I'm sorry if Krisan, if I pronounce your name wrong, says laziness and menopause. Peggy says fatigue is holding her back. Amy says discouragement. She's been cutting carbs for a month and hasn't lost any weight. We've got Nicole who says the weekends hold her back. She grazes and doesn't want to cook. Teresa says she's been lazy and her nutrition is holding her back. And Andy says nutrition also. Tammy says she's not really sure she knows what she's doing. Kelly says long work hours and stress eating. Charlene says that she's scared that whatever she does won't work. And Heather says menopause and lack of time. Also suffering from medical issues. And so things that are in eating plans, new eating plans she can't always have. And Danielle says motivation and lack of energy lately. And so we're seeing a lot of the same things, and many of these things do happen when we reach that age where our hormones start to change. So this is due to menopause, perimenopause, premenopause, hormonal changes. It can zap our energy. It can make us not want to do anything or stick to anything. And the things that used to work don't work anymore. And so I think that covers most of these things. That's all very stressful and leads to stress eating, right? And so we want to get a hold on all these things. And so I have included a few things for you that I will promise you will address almost all of these things. And I added the links here in our post. And so the first thing is, if you feel like you need to be heard and given some love by somebody who understands what you're going through, then I added my calendar link in there. And you can book a 45-minute, what I call game plan call with me. And in that call, you and I get to go over exactly what's going on with you. And I can point out to you, I take lots of really good notes, and I can point out to you exactly what's holding you back and give you the roadmap for how to see success and some options. And so if you have not had one of those calls with me, then book one. I am now home all week. A lot of my golf was canceled. Dropping the kids and picking the kids up at camp was canceled. And so I do have some more time on my schedule, although those spots tend to fill up fast. So grab a time on my calendar that works for you. I even have weekend spots because I canceled my weekend golf too. Although this weekend we have Father's Day on Sunday, so we are limited on Sunday. So that's one thing you can do, is book a call with me and we can discuss exactly what's going on with you. The second thing you can do is a little mini step, and it's called the 5-day Kickstart Cleanse. I included the link here, and I also have the link in the banner. If you click on the banner of our group, then you can see it there too. And that's a 5-day meal plan that will help you drop 5 pounds at least in those 5 days. Now, I mentioned that Lisa lost over 6 pounds this past week, and she's a few months into her journey with me. And Lorna, who just started her journey with me last week, lost 7 pounds in that week. So we see that those who are coming to me asking for change, that's exactly what they're getting. And this 5-day Kickstart Cleanse is a really great motivation booster, an energy booster. It will get you past any plateau. It's very easy to do. Alicia was messaging me just a few minutes ago. She started it last week, and she said she's been struggling to eat all the food because it's so much food. And that's awesome to hear. So I know she'll have really great results from it too. So that's a really small step. The 5-day cleanse costs $47 and you get to keep it forever. I actually have 4 different menus, and they're on my website as well, jillortizfitness.com/shop. So you can do that too. So the other thing that you can do, if you haven't looked at it yet, is I also included the link to my menopausal metabolism reboot, which includes the 5-day kickstart as the first 5 days, but it also has a 30-day plan as well that you move right into afterwards with nutrition and stress management. And it even has an add-on for a whole 4-week fitness program, a weightlifting program that's just 20 minutes a day. And so that is a really great program for those of you who mention the menopausal symptoms and all that stuff and really need help there. We're going to go over some of your particular questions. That menopausal reboot is magic for your first month or so. And so you're going to love that. Plus you'll have the Kickstart Cleanse to start you off and get you that quick win. So I absolutely recommend one of those 3 options to start taking action. Because if you don't take action, it's not very motivating. Hi, Sarah. Miss you. All right, so let's get into what everybody's goals are here for the next 3 to 6 months and just get an idea of what everybody here wants to achieve, okay? And you can always shout out your goal too in the comments if you want. So Renee says she wants to lose weight and gain energy. And Wendy says she recently lost 40 pounds. Congrats, Wendy, that's amazing. But she wants to tone up. So we got to get this girl onto a strength training program, right? She asked actually her question below. Let's go over that now. She says, what's the best way to tone? Is it bands? Is it Pilates? No, I say go heavy weightlifting. That's how you're going to actually build the muscle that's going to be, you know, more substantial in terms of changing your body composition. It takes a lot more. And I have this great book. Somebody had asked me about it earlier. Is there a book I recommend for all the menopausal stuff? And yes, it's called Next Level by Stacy T. Sims. And in it, she has a chapter that literally says that the best way to exercise is to lift heavy shit. And so I agree, lifting heavy is going to be the best way to actually build that muscle that you will see the difference in your body. You know, I don't think that the bands and the Pilates are going to be as effective and quick. You know, they are fantastic in their own way. Bands create resistance, and Pilates is really great for your core strength. So is Jill's killer abs. But I say lift heavy and have a strength training program that progresses and also changes over time so you don't get bored. Okay, that's what I built. Chrisanne, she says she wants to lose weight, get stronger, and have stamina. So it's very similar to Renee's lose weight and gain energy. Amy says she wants to lose 50 pounds, have energy, and get toned. Teresa says she wants to build muscle and she needs a plan, and she'd also like to lose 15 pounds. And April wants to lose 50 pounds. We've got Andy wants to lose weight. Kelly wants to tone and lose weight. Charlene says she wants to lose weight, gain muscle, be toned, but most importantly, be healthy. And let's see what Heather says here. Heather says, lose about 8 pounds, firm up, midsection, back of arms, neck, and throat area. I'd say neck. And Danielle wants to lose 20 pounds as well. So we're hearing that we want to lose weight, tone up, and feel more energized. And it's interesting because my company, Jill Ortiz Fitness, has a tagline, and it's energized, confident, and strong. And what I've found is when we can get the nutrition and the fitness in alignment and really be doing the right things, especially the right things for us at this stage in life, then it actually builds a ton of energy. We got to make sure when I get on, I'd say 95% of you, when I get on the calls, the game plan calls with you, when we go over what you're eating each day, it turns out you're under eating, which can lead to not having enough energy, right? To sustain what you got to even do in the day. And so we want to make sure we're eating in alignment with our fitness, which is in alignment with our goals to be toned and lose weight. And it's a lot easier to lose weight and get toned when you're eating enough and when you have a really great strength training program that progresses and then changes. And then kind of like Lisa did this week, as an interlude between our sessions and our programs that we do for the lifting, we have these great opportunities to rest, recover, replenish, rest our digestive system. And that's when Lisa this past week did 5 days of yoga, which I prescribed for her, along with my 5-day Kickstart cleanse. She broke a massive plateau and lost those 6 pounds. To continue her trend of this downward weight, increased energy, increased strength, and increased confidence. So it's amazing to see. And this takes time. So gotta start now if you want to see those awesome results. So let's go into a few individual questions, okay? And if you have a question, you can always drop it below as well, or get in touch, or you can go over your questions privately with me on a game plan call if you use the link that I posted for that. So let's go back to see who this was. This was Kimberly. And so Kimberly, who is struggling with menopause, is asking, is it, which I imagine she's talking about weight gain, she's asking, is it correlated or is it cortisol related? Yes. Cortisol is what is causing that belly fat to start coming on. Cortisol is going to be the driver of the weight gain at this point in time if you're going through hormonal changes. And so it's incredibly important that we start to control that cortisol, which is related to your sleep. It's related to your stress. It's related to your nutrition. It's related to your exercise. And that's why we have to have the right formula for all of these things and have them combine in harmony. And that's a hard thing to know how to do on your own, but that's something that I've studied and mastered and created programs for, like the Menopausal Metabolism Reboot that's in the post here, and all of my programming and my coaching. And so, yes, it is cortisol related. We want to get that education in your hands, and then we want to get a plan of action and have accountability so that you see it through successfully. Okay? Let's see. Next question. Renee wants to know how to get past pain and increase endurance. I'm wondering why you're feeling pain. Renee, we want to get to the bottom of that. You had mentioned you didn't have energy, you're wanting to lose weight and gain energy, but I'd like to know if you have an injury, what is causing you pain. We definitely shouldn't be feeling pain when we're doing exercise, otherwise something's wrong. Soreness and feeling the work, definitely. I was doing an ab workout today because I was trying not to use my arm, and I also did my bike. And I could feel the work in my legs when I was on my bike, and I could feel the soreness in my abs while I was working my abs, but definitely no shooting pains. Otherwise, we know something's wrong there. So we want to do something that works with if you have an injury, and we want to make sure that we're careful, that we know and have instruction from our doctor what we can do and can't do. And to increase endurance, depends on what kind of endurance you're looking for, right? So if I want to increase endurance on my bike, let's say I can only do 30 minutes on my bike and then I'm like so gassed, then we build up over time on the bike. Maybe we build leg strength, maybe we build cardio endurance and push ourselves and do little intervals to work on that cardio endurance. We also have muscular endurance, which is something that I work on in actually all of my muscle training programs, where we are increasing either reps or time under tension or weight or a combo of those three over time. So we're increasing and we're building over time. Progressing is what we call it. And then, so in some programs we're doing that. Some programs we're using techniques where the actual lifting technique that we use increases that endurance to really push us to the limit, and then backing back off and continuing to work still. We also have some really great programs that I've designed that are metabolic conditioning, and that's also meant to be one of those endurance increasers. It's total body workouts that have very little rest, so you're utilizing your time really well, but you're also really working that endurance and working on increasing your ability to work out for a longer time without rest. So those are all great different ways. And the cool thing is that we do all these things in increments of like 3 to 4 weeks. So you're working on something, but you're not getting exhausted by it, because that's when the cortisol is going to shoot up again. You're going to see gains instead of, well, not the gains you want. You're going to see weight gain instead of your muscular gains. So I hope that answers that question. All right. We already went through this one, so let's see who this is here. Chrisan, F. The question is, what are the best strategies for middle-aged women to get in shape? So that's what I was saying. It's not going to be cardio is going to increase cortisol, right? So if you're trying to do so much cardio, that is going to be a lot of stress. That is going to release cortisol. So instead, what we want to do is we want to do really focused, short strength training workouts in order to get the most out of our time and our energy, and to build a body that will work for us, right? If we just do, let's say we burn 100 calories on a treadmill, and then you go eat a cookie, which cookie might be more than 100 calories. I think an apple's like 80 calories. Then you're just going to put, you're putting the calories right back in. But if we can do activity that builds strength and creates a body that is more metabolically sound, is more smart at burning and storing calories, then you're going to see much more positive change. And since all of you are saying that you want energy and you want to tone, then doing a ton of cardio is going to drain your energy, and that's not going to tone you. That's going to eat away at the muscle that you're trying to build. So I hope that makes sense. I would say strength train, lots of strength training, progressive strength training, eat enough, right? Especially if you're not feeling the energy that you want to, you're not having that stamina. And then making sure that you are in alignment with your rest and recovery, especially if you're going through menopause and you're feeling exhaustion anyways. Very important to get that recovery and work on stress release, okay? Nicole wants to know how to keep going when you don't see results and why you plateau. As far as fitness, I do CrossFit 3 times a week, so I guess I'm confused as to why I still have issues. Plus, I walk 5 miles a day. Okay, well, this makes sense to me. Because if you're telling me that you're doing the same thing every week I do 3 CrossFit classes, every day I walk 5 miles, then that's just your norm, right? That's just what you're doing. You're doing the same thing all the time. And so your body is gonna adjust your calorie burn to what you're doing all the time. So those walks, the 5-mile walk, it's really no longer a big help to you because you're doing it so consistently that it just becomes your norm. And your body wants to keep you where you're at. It doesn't want to change. And so it's going to say, oh, we walk 5 miles a day, so we're going to just keep her here, right? We're going to do everything we can with our calorie burn to make sure that we stay right there, because that's what the body wants to do. It doesn't want to shake things up. It doesn't want to lose weight. It wants to stay where you're at. So what we need to do is we need to shake things up. We need to do new things. We need to make sure that we have periods of work, periods of rest, and that we change our approach often. And so that's going to really help you to get new results. I mentioned my client Lisa before. She's been doing all of my different fitness programs every 3 to 4 weeks, and she's been losing weight. She's been doing amazing. And then this past week we said, okay, it's time for a little rest and recovery. And that's when she lost 6 more pounds in a week. And she'll continue to see those results, because that's what happens is you see change, you do something new, right? You see change and then you plateau out. Now, if you don't know what next to do that's new, then you'll just stay here, or you'll give up and you'll go back up. And what we need is new things to do. And then new things to do. We got to keep changing that approach and see what works the best, and still keep changing that approach. Okay, so I hope that answers the question. Let's see, Teresa wants to know, have you worked with women with hypothyroidism? Yes, and it's interesting. So hypothyroidism, we find that it's very similar. Hypothyroid, diabetes, menopause, all of these things where the nervous system is stressed and not working appropriately. And that it can cause exhaustion and things we do aren't working. And that's where, again, the shake-up is really helpful. Ditching the cardio that's causing more stress is really helpful, especially, Teresa, if you're saying you want to build muscle, you need a plan, and you want to lose weight too, then we really need to get that nutrition and fitness in alignment, and we need to do something that's going to actually create change. So let's get you going on a plan. I think I have you on my board over here. Yeah, that we were supposed to get started. So let's get in touch. April wants to know, how do you make it look so easy? Well, April, if you saw any of my workout videos this week, that is not that easy. But you got to be willing to do the hard work sometimes, and the more you do it, the more you face challenges, the more you try new things, the less scary they seem. And I was talking to one of my clients, Osi, yesterday, and I was telling her, I've been not struggling, but I've been struggling with motivation to tighten up my nutrition, because I've really been enjoying some more of the junk, and my body has been able to handle it because I've built so much muscle over time. And I haven't really figured out what my motivation is necessarily to get to my best body, my stage body, since I'm not competing on stage. I've got nobody to impress but myself, and I'm comfortable right now with myself. And so you got to figure out, what is your motivation going to be for change? But then I think also, because I'm not necessarily making a really great plan, or I didn't this week, since I got back from vacation, that's why I'm struggling to follow a plan, because I don't have a plan. But if I make a plan, let me grab one of my plans from April, right? So April, I was doing really good. This was a plan. So I make the plan and I follow the plan. And even if I don't follow the plan, perfectly, I still had a plan, and it was way easier to follow than not having a plan. And this is another one, right? And so when I make a plan, I actually do really, really well. But this week I did not make a plan because we got back from vacation and then all these things. My son got injured and then I got injured. And so that makes it a lot tougher. But if I really want to see some particular results, all I got to do is sit down and make a plan and then create accountability. And so that would mean that I would start checking in with my group and say, you know, hey, here's what I ate today. I'm checking back in tomorrow. And I did tell my group yesterday, you know, had a pity party for myself yesterday with my wrist and I wasn't, you know, up for working out. But I said to them last night, tomorrow I'll be doing my bike, I'll be doing my abs, and I'll be doing my glutes. And sure enough, I showed up and I did it today. So I could post and say, hey, got it done, right? All right, let's do another question. We've got, who is this? Tammy. I think I just talked to Tammy a few minutes ago. Tammy doesn't know what she's doing. She wants to lose weight and be in better shape. And she says, where or how do I start? Tammy, I sent you a link to my calendar. Go ahead and book a call with me. We'll have a really fun call. I'll get to know more about you, maybe where you live, what you like to do, what you've been eating, what you've been doing for workouts, and we'll make a plan. And we'll figure out together if we start you with something really small like the Kickstart Cleanse, or maybe we start you with the Menopausal Reboot, or maybe we talk about you joining my Empowered Fitness Mastery program where you'll have support and a plan and 3 fitness programs and a bunch of nutrition frameworks over the next 3 months at least. And I just got a text in from my client Shelly and it started, I'm super proud of myself. I want to see what that says. We should see that. I'll have to take a look before we finish this because I love messages from my clients like that. So how do we start is get in touch with me and start something. I put 3 links in this post as to how you can start getting started on something. Okay. Ooh, Shelly sent a picture too. Okay. How to get back. This is Kelly, who works long hours and stress eats and wants to know, how do I get back on track and tone? We make our plan, right? That's what we do, is we make our plan together, our nutrition plan, we make our fitness plan, and we have accountability to stick to it. Let's have a call, Kelly, okay? Why isn't the exercise I'm doing helping? We want to make sure it's the right exercise, okay?
He wants
Charlotte.
you.
Okay. I gotta go see the inspector, the town inspector. I'm gonna sign off. You guys have a great day. I'll post whatever Shelly said down below, and we'll resume next week with more questions. All right? Bye, everybody.